am sorry. Are you okay?
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
They looking at me in amazement. Hand raised high, blood on my waist. I'm strapped up, there's blood on my face. They quit in the corner, ain't have what it takes. They calling me out, I couldn't ignore it. The crowd going wild, and I give them a smile. At border wars, standing they camps. At border wars, 10-day rounds. At border wars, we don't do ducking, we settle the score. Fight of the night at border wars. Get a knockout at border wars, leaving no doubt. At border wars, now we don't do running, we settle the score. Fight of the night at border wars. I'm showing off and hitting the shuffle. 8-ounce gloves, know we could tussle. Stacking KOs, they come in abundance. Throwing the towel, we don't need judges, lace them up.
What's up, what's up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Solo dolo, Scarface, no Manolo. But we're joined by Vincent Colbert, the man, the myth, the legend, the man that stopped Old Wizard, whether he wants to believe it or not. When you cannot continue, that means was a knockout. Vince, man, thank you for joining me. How are you?
What's up, Ness? I'm good. What's up, chat?
So, man, I guess let's start from the beginning. Why boxing? What got you into it, and at what age?
Oh, I've always been into fighting and those kinds of things. I was in and out of the gym in like my early 20s. I tried Muay Thai and MMA. I tried some boxing, but never took it seriously. And then maybe a little over a year ago, I was watching UFC 300, and I was realizing like these dudes are my age and seeing how much they accomplished. And I sort of had like a mini anxiety attack, like, damn, I haven't done shit. So let me like try to get back into boxing. So here we are.
So when you say you haven't done anything, let me get back into boxing, how many fights or how much did you do beforehand?
0 fights. I always like, there was a time I was trying to do MMA. I was like, okay, I'm going to get into an MMA match. And that was like maybe 6 years ago. And that just fell off. I let life get in the way, those sort of things. And so this is the most seriously I've taken it. And my goal now is just do as many fights as I can before I hit 40.
And at what age was that exactly?
I was like 33.
Okay. And now you are?
About to be 35.
All right. So 2 years boxing. And how'd you meet Coach John, your trainer?
We met at a gym in the South Bay. I don't really want to say the name of it because he split with them. But that's where we met.
Okay. So any fighters that you look up to or that you try to mimic your style after?
So I consider myself like a pressure fighter. Lately, I've been watching a lot of Pitbull Cruz fights.
Okay.
I like Sean Porter. My friend's been sending me like old clips of Ray Mancini, those kind of fighters.
So what was, I guess, the mindset or the logic behind giving Old Wizard a rematch?
Everyone saw what happened. The people are calling for it. I believe he deserves one. It was like a freak accident, and I also want to prove that I can beat him without him hurting himself.
Yeah, for sure. Now, it wasn't a lot of time before his shoulder dislocated, but based off what you were able to see, did you go back and watch the tape, and do you see any skill there, or what's your assessment of him? Was it much?
Right, it wasn't much. I didn't see a lot of skill there, but I also didn't see a lot of skill on my end. It was pretty sloppy. All my training sort of went out the window in those moments. I feel like after the first round, I would have calmed down a little bit, and it would have looked cleaner. So right, there's really nothing big that I saw from either side on skill. It was pretty much a brawl for a good 20, 30 seconds.
For sure. Um, so was he intimidating first going into it? I mean, he does have a good physique. Did that cross your mind, or did that go out the window once the bell rang?
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's a lot bigger, but intimidating. No, I mean, I've fought bigger guys, stronger guys, maybe physique wise, like muscles and stuff like that. But like I've taken heavy shots, like in and out of the gym, and it doesn't affect me. Like doesn't affect me like that. Like I have a sparring partner, Kevin. He's also fighting on Border Wars, and uh, I've been hit harder by him than I was in that fight with Old Wizard.
Mm,
So I mean, he Kevin hits pretty hard. Watch out for him. I'm thinking he's gonna get a knockout at Border Wars.
wow. Uh, did it cross your mind to put yourself in his shoes, and would you have not continued had you dislocated your shoulder?
I would like to think like, oh, I would have fought through that, but my arm's never been falling off like that. So I think it's easy for to criticize, but I mean, I can't imagine like you're trying to fight with that on your mind. Like, dude, fighting with one arm is like I've seen clips. My friends have sent me clips of dudes getting knockouts when they dislocate their shoulder, but I mean, it's hard to judge that. It's never happened to me, so
For sure. Yeah, man. It seemed like it popped out and then back in. Did you see it that way as well, or
yeah.
did it stay out in your opinion?
When I watched it back, it's hard to tell. But you guys were like, "Oh, it's hanging, it's hanging." So I was like, "I guess it is."
I
It
guess
was
it
hard.
is.
It was hard to tell. Like in the fight, I was like, "Oh damn!" I clipped him. Like I hit him hard, whatever. And then it was kind of disappointing to watch it back. I'm like, okay, maybe I like punched his shoulder out. It's like, no, he threw that shit out on his own. So I
did
gotta
you
fight him again.
did your trainer have anything to do with you taking the rematch? Did he kind of like, oh, maybe you should give him another shot, or was it something you wanted to get it off your chest because you didn't like the way that you got the win?
Oh, that was my call. I was like, I gotta fight him again. He wanted it. You know, the community wants it. Why not, man? I think it would be a really good fight to actually see that one through.
Do you think he's going to be healthy because he has to rehab? I mean, does he have enough time to rehabilitate and train, or do you see it dislocating again? And I hate to make it about him, but you did accept the rematch, so that's who you're fighting.
Right, right. I mean, I'm just hopeful. I believe he's highly motivated. I like, maybe his body wouldn't want to cooperate. That's a chance that we got to take here. Um, just we got to get this done. He wants to get it done. He says he'll be ready by, or the shoulder will be, his rehab will be complete later in June. So hopefully he's at least staying in shape and he'll be ready. He'll have July to actually train and spar and stuff like that. I'm not sure about that basketball game either, man. That doesn't make me feel good. I don't know if I don't know if I want him playing basketball in June.
You think he might sprain something, pull
Yeah,
a
I mean, that's
muscle?
I mean, he could do what he wants, but that'll be really disappointing.
Yeah, nah, man. He shouldn't get hurt. That would be a bad thing for sure. Um,
Yeah.
I got a few questions from the people, obviously. We got El Consejero that says, Vince, appreciate your time. Looking forward to seeing you and O Wizard fight in person. How do you take care of your mental health, especially before a fight?
Well, I'll tell you, the first fight, I was taking care of myself up until that day. I would say, like we were gonna leave for Vegas at 3 in the morning that same morning before weigh-ins. I woke up at one of my kids was like coughing all night, and I woke up at midnight, could not fall back asleep. We left at 3. I drank an energy drink. I did all the wrong kind of things in the hours leading up to it. Um, so I guess the anxiety level was up a little bit, and then so I would say like before a fight, just uh, whatever you consume, just be careful. You got to get rest. Like if I drink too much caffeine, I'm anxious. If I eat the wrong food, I'm anxious. I'm a pretty anxious dude regardless, but definitely what I consume makes a big difference.
Manuel says Colbert said he wants tip next. That's got to be a joke. No way you cutting that much.
Tip's
Uh,
dangerous. I don't want none of that.
yeah, we got Tip's opponent, El Lobo. What's up, bro? Have you ever played or competed in any other sports? If you have, what would you say is the biggest difference between those sports and boxing? Always is my dog, but I have much respect for you.
Shout out to Lobo. Uh, yeah, I played other sports when I was a kid. I was never good at really any of them. Um, but the heart that it takes to be a fighter, I believe, is just it's totally different. Like you can be competitive, but a lot of people aren't trying to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
And like to withstand a beating and it just or like see the fight through and come back in a fight like that just takes another kind of animal in my opinion. And I learned that like I was in high school I was on the football team for 1 year and I was like sixth string wide receiver or whatever. I was like 110 pounds, like 5'3", and I would scrap with dudes like after practice in the locker room and stuff and like bigger guys. And that's when I kind of learned like, oh, I like fighting. Like fighting's my thing. So may not be an athlete, but well, now I'm an athlete more than ever, but fighting's different.
I got Alex from Palm Beach, South Florida. Thought it was short. What can you take from your experience at Border Wars?
I think what I talked about, like kind of just be more mindful of what I'm doing in the hours leading up to the fight. Uh, help stay calm. And I said after the fight too, like I want to enjoy the next Border Wars more, like regardless of what happens in my fight, because I was sort of like after the fight, I was like, damn, what the hell just happened? And I was on my phone. My friends were texting me because they watched it, and so I want to enjoy the fights more next time.
Yeah, for sure, man. You got to stick around and hang out. Hopefully, we can watch the fights together. There should be a Kenneth Sims, Oscar Duarte fight in Chicago if all goes well. We got Quest out of Virginia that says, "What's up, Vince? I love your style. Very bang and swing. Very fun to watch. Who you compare your style to right now in boxing?"
Uh, like I said, like the pressure fighters, like I like Isak Cruz, Sean Porter. I know Sean Porter is not really active. Um, Ray Mancini, like I said, I've been watching his clips. Any pressure fighter really. There's a lot of guys that I like to try to take stuff from. I appreciate like the boxing, the more boxer style, but it's not really how I fight though.
I got Austin. This says, "Yo, Vince, I seen your fight. Did you expect a first round stoppage? And how upset was you when O Wizard hurt his shoulder?"
I didn't expect that to happen, but stoppage. I don't know, but yeah, I was pretty pissed off. Like, I'm glad the camera didn't show it because the camera was on him. I rewatched it. I was like, dude, like right after the ref called it, I was like punching the canvas. I was punching the ropes. Like I was so mad. Like I felt cheated out of a fight. Like I was like, damn.
You
And
came to
then my
fight.
coach told me, yeah, my coach was like, calm down. Like the judges, see that as disrespectful and stuff like that. But I was pissed, like kind of like lost control for a second there. I was so mad.
Yeah. AB 2 times from Colorado, champ. How did you get through the nerves at Border Wars? Did you have any?
Fuck it. No, just fuck it. That's what it is. Fuck it. I knew the nerves
Really?
were there. Yeah, it's just kind of like it's like any other fight. Like if I know something's gonna go down, like just fuck it. Here we go. Like I obviously did have some nerves because the way I came out, like I was swinging like crazy. So, but I'm gonna be more mindful of that next time. Um, just keep with the aggressiveness, but more controlled aggression. Yeah.
Keem the
So I
Dream.
wish I had an answer for dealing with nerves.
Keem the Dream, last Border Wars, WBC bell fight of the night winner says, "You came out like a bull at the sound of the first bell. Is that how you always fight, or was that something about O Wizard that made you charge him with so much aggression?"
I have a tendency to do that in fights anyway, but uh, like I said, like technique wise, like I've fought better with better technique in the street than than like that. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna come out better next time, but it's gonna be aggressive. That's how I fight.
Talk trans. What's the hardest part of amateur boxing? Getting in the ring or promoting yourself?
Promoting yourself.
Why so? Elaborate.
Well, I didn't really realize promoting yourself was a part of amateur boxing. Maybe it's because this platform. Like it's really hard to get local fights. Like I've yet to. Well, I got one local fight coming up in June 21st, but
Hard because they
like
know
yeah,
you and they don't want to fight you? Hard why?
I wish that's what it was. No, it's just nobody knows me. I'm in my mid-30s. Nobody cares. That's what it seems like. You got to make them care. Got to
Wait,
put on a show.
but I don't get it. Isn't it easy to match up? Like, what do you mean? Nobody care. I'm lost. You mean you can't sell tickets or you
Well,
can't get a fight?
can't get a fight. I guess so. You could say nobody wants to fight me, but for the reason of like, there's not a lot of like people in their 30s trying to fight around here. At least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Like I was supposed to be a fight. I was supposed to fight like a 20-year-old a few weeks ago, or maybe like a month and a half ago, or something like that. And I was just basically a placeholder in case his real opponent couldn't show. And I found that out like a few days before the fight, and they dropped me and then added his intended opponent.
And you think that's just because you're old, they don't see an upside into winning, or you're old so they fear the unknown? I'm lost. I never heard this.
I mean, it just seems like there was really no upside to fighting me. This kid already fought Golden Gloves, and he was building his record. And my coach hit him up on Conquer. He said, "Can we fight?" He said, "Yeah." And they just switched me out in the last minute. So
Mm. Well, we got you, man. Win or lose. Mr. Quick says, "Can we get a live fight breakdown on the Unguarded series during the interviews with the fighters, round by round or a whole run through?" I don't know how we can do a live fight breakdown because it ain't a live fight. But, I mean, Vince, you can definitely try and give us a 3-round breakdown of how you see your fight with O Wizard playing out.
oh, like a prediction? Is that what he means?
I mean, I guess he wants a detailed 3-round prediction.
Okay, I'll break it up into the first round and then 2 and 3 together. First round, he's gonna come out swinging. He's gonna miss most of his shots. He may land 1 or 2. He's gonna realize it's not hurting me, and then I'm gonna just wear him out in that second and third round, and it's gonna be too much. It's gonna be too much for him.
Lobo is saying that the older you get, the harder it is to get matched up. Now, I agree with that on the Masters level, but I didn't know it was that difficult in your, 30s. I thought that was a decent age.
I don't know if it's by location, but I'll tell you, in LA, it's been hard.
That sucks, man. But hey, glad you got to fight with us. Let me get to the next one here. Actually, this fight is at 175.
I think that's the maximum. I don't know if it's 170 or 175. I just know I'm coming in 166 to 168. That's my sweet spot, and whatever USA Boxing allows, I guess that's what it's going to be.
No, perfect. That's the segue I was looking for. Obviously, you had Keem, win on the last Border Wars in the cruiserweight division, but his original division is 168, and he plans on coming back down. So much so he wanted to fight Spider Rico. Obviously, we couldn't make that fight. Do you see yourself matching up with a guy like Keem? This particular Border Wars, there's going to be a lot of people in your division. our former pound for pound and former unified fighter. He's coming back. Marvin the Tank Furman. He'll be back in this series as well, fighting someone in Wisconsin. There's actually a lot of smoke at 68. You got Alex Vega and Big Bay Quinn. That's another matchup. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you've seen Big Bay Quinn in his last fight beat Anthony Forbes. So was it Anthony Forbes? Hold on a minute. I got to double check. But, yeah, I think it might have been Anthony Forbes. Yeah, man. So what do you think about that division? And is there anyone that you have your eyes set on?
Nobody specific. I was just kind of reassess after this whole Wizard fight. I believe our experience is really similar, and maybe somebody more experienced at 168 is, maybe not be a good matchup, but we'll find out. Let me see how this goes with the Wizard. I know there's been someone at 154 calling me out, so I might go down to around 160. We'll see. Justin Yancey.
Okay. Well, he's got a fight, and
he's going to be making his debut. First time.
Yeah, he's got a fight. He's going to be making his debut, but he's got a tough fight, man. I like his, bravado in kind of looking past Miles, but, Miles showed us that he's got power, man. If Miles can stay focused and, get some training, that's going to be a very serious fight that Yancey has on his hands.
Yeah, for sure.
What did you think of that Lobos Miles, and how do you see Lobos and Tip playing out?
Well, I didn't know that Lobos came up in weight, so that's something to consider with the Tip fight. I think I don't think I caught I was sitting right there, but like I said, I was kind of in my own world after my fight, so I don't think I caught the standing 8 counts that Miles put on Lobo. Mm-hmm. And I think I remember Miles tiring out in second or third rounds. It was it was a good couple rounds there. And I think the Tip and Lobo, that's gonna be tough. I did put money with Jonathan Sims. I put money on Lobo. Okay. But that's gonna be a close one. Yeah. It's gonna be close. I don't know if Tip's power is gonna affect Lobo as much as Miles' power did.
Yeah, if he can stop Lobos, that's going to tell us something about Tip's power, because he definitely stopped Emperor King. But Lobos took some big shots from Miles and kept walking. We got one from Rue in the 504 New Orleans. He says, how do you make time for training? That's a good one. I'm sure you have a day job, right?
Yeah, I got a day job. I got kids. I got a family.
So how do you make it work?
In the morning, in the morning while everyone's asleep, I go train with John for about an hour, hour and a half. And then later in the day, before after work, but before class or whatever, I'll do 10, 15 minutes, just a hard workout, like burpees, squats, whatever it is, just to keep it going.
Nice. Mr. Quick says that he meant the last fight. We all rewatched his last fight as he breaks it down. So he wants us to watch it while you break it down. That's probably something we need to consider, but we also need that link. I'm not prepared for that, but maybe for the next one we can consider that. Vince, any final words specifically to your opponent and to the potential opponents out there after you get the win?
To my opponent, I trust you'll get ready. I'll trust you let us know if you won't be able to fight. Hopefully, get a replacement if necessary, but I don't even want to think that way right now. Just get ready, man. And then potential opponents, I don't turn down any smoke. You guys will find that out.
Where can they find you if they want to follow the boxing career, man?
Mine is, I just made it just for the purpose of this, is the boxing accountant, the boxing _ accountant on Instagram. And then follow Coach John Boxing. He's opening a gym in a couple weeks, and he's asking for donations. If you go to his page at Coach John Boxing, the information's there if you want to donate.
So what's the science behind the boxing accountant? Are you accounting by day?
Yeah. I just like I never went on Instagram, and I had a just a regular Instagram account, and I for like 12 years I never went on it, and I just went on it like last week to so I can send you clips and stuff like that. So and I renamed it the boxing accountant. I'm an accountant.
Nice, nice. Just double checking, make sure we didn't get any last minutes before I let you go. Talk Trent says, what's the hardest part of training camp? Say again?
Diet.
Oh, diet.
Dieting. Not
What's the hardest thing to cut
not
out the
eating like
diet?
shit. Saturday night beer.
All right, all right. Shout out to Alex Vega. Y'all gonna enjoy yourselves in Milwaukee. Well, listen, Vince, man, thank you so much. That is all the questions. We appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to getting you back on during some of these Border War shows as the fight gets closer. Thank you for, Wizard telling me to refresh with his late request.
All right.
Let's see, Wizard, where are you? I don't see any Wizard questions. Did you put it on YouTube, Patreon? Which place? Not seeing anything. Yep, nothing, Wiz. Maybe you want to DM it to me?
Come on.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. And I'm
A
refreshing.
wizard said I hit him with muffins.
With muffins?
Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard that, muffins, but that shit made me laugh.
He ain't eat them like they were some breakfast muffins, I'll tell you that. He said YouTube.
I told him next time it's gonna be too many muffins.
I'm on the YouTube community page, bro. I got his post pulled up, man. Where's yours at? Slowing my man interview up.
Just ask it in the chat, man.
Yeah, put it in the chat, bro. What's going on? Say it in the chat. Unless this is your sabotage attempt. Attempting to sabotage Vincent's interview. Come on, Wizard. Where is that? Yeah, I see the belt too. I see the belt and the WBC.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, man. Winners only, baby. Winners only. I don't know. Wizard, what's going on, brother? Put it right there in the live chat. I see nothing from you yet. And nothing in the community page.
Tell me how you feel.
Nothing there. He just said I wasn't hurt at all. So I guess he's back to talking about the muffins. He didn't put the question. Vince, appreciate you. Until the next one, ladies and gents, we're out.